but I started playing hockey when I was 5 years old, and maybe after 2-3 years, I started to be a goalie because I think the pads and all the equipment was pretty cool. So that's maybe why.
I had an older brother growing up who was 5 years older than me, so if I wanted to hang out with the older kids, I had to play goalie. So we had a long driveway, one of the longest ones in the neighborhood that was newly paved, and that was the most ideal for street hockey. So threw the young guy in there, and I wanted to hang out with my older brother, so that was the way I had to do it. And then there's the the colorful pads and the masks, and as a kid, it's really attractive, like all those bright colors, and it's really cool to design your own stuff. So that kind of attracted me to the position.
I wanted my dad to be in that so we could like shoot and like do that stuff, but he didn't want to do it, and my brother refused to do it. So I didn't mind playing in goals. I did it.
It's the biggest challenge that I've been able to find in this world. I find it extremely difficult. It's still extremely difficult for me to this day. It's obviously a game of millimeters. You're chasing vulcanized rubber on frozen water with knives on your feet. So it's kind of a strange thing. And it's also very difficult in the sense that goalie's a very passive position. If you're struggling and you want to, increase your game, you can't assert yourself in the position like a forward defenseman can. A forward can go out, get a hit, get it in deep, take a shot on goal, something like that, start a fight. Those are assertive qualities that players are able to maybe contribute to the team. As a goalie, the game's coming to you. You can't go out and say, hey, come on, give me a nice, easy one. It's like, no, you're very passive, and you're absorbing what comes to you, and that's a different mentality. So it's like you're trying to generate something, but you have to sit back and wait for it.
No, we have good protection, so it doesn't hurt that bad. But of course, the guys have good shots, and sometimes he gets hurt. But that's a part of hockey too, and to be goalie.
You get strange, you get different, you get weirdos, but I don't see how you could put yourself in the position out there that you are, kind of an individual position on a team sport, much like almost like a quarterback, a kicker, pitcher. Those are all individual positions on team sports. Not to mention, just the sheer, the burden, the pressure, the discomfort. It's, getting hit with pucks isn't the most great feeling. You get used to it, but it stings a lot. It takes a different person to be able to do that. It would be kind of weird to have a normal guy in there who's kind of taking all. He might as well be a sociopath if you're just sitting there not fazed by it all. We all find different ways to cope with, to just be able to go out there and compete. It's just you find what does it right, what makes you do it right, whether it's superstition, whether it's talking a lot, whether it's not talking at all, there's every facet of the spectrum is exhibited in goalie personalities, which makes it really, you meet some characters who are goalies.
You can't have those bad days when you let in too many goals, and just be consistent. I think that's like the most thing, and then you have to have a little like a luck like coming in too, and don't get any injuries. That's like luck and injuries is like one of the big things too. You kind of have the feeling that you're just gonna save everything, and it just happened naturally. You don't really think about it, and it just happens up in your glove or anywhere. And some days you don't really have that feeling that you're gonna save anything. So you kind of more need to think and remember to do that, this, and then make the save that way. So all the days it doesn't come naturally. You just need to go back to your basics and do what works for you. I do normal warm-up stuff, and then I normally sleep before games. So I try to get a ball just to throw it against a wall just to wake up my eyes and the focus and that stuff. and then like during the game and that stuff, I always like try to reset between every period. And like the first 10 minutes is like the hardest ones, because it feels like after 10 minutes you're like into the period and it just happens naturally. But like always the first 10 minutes is like it doesn't come naturally. So like be ready all the time.
Just before I went to the ring to be prepared, like just before I went, I tried to get into myself and mentally prepared, and then I come down and I try to be relaxed, and then 1 hour before I try to like start to be more focused, and then I will come out on the ice and warm up. I try to feel loose and have a good feeling, and then just be ready when the puck drop.
You want to find what they call the zone, that flow state. So how do you activate your body to be at its quickest, fastest, sharpest, whereas your mind can be as calm and controlled and analytic and reactive too at the same time? That's a tough balance to find, and that flow, finding that trajectory is the hardest part. And that can drive some people crazy too. You find meaning in life by taking on the biggest burden that you can bear and bearing it. So that's basically why I do it. It's difficult. It forces me to be my best self every day. I have to be very introspective. I have to learn about myself, how I react to certain situations, why I feel the way I feel, and it's just the mental game. And plus, I don't outside of real life, adversity, I think this game will give you the biggest dose of that. So anything happens off the ice, I'm pretty well prepared for it. And I think that's a kind of a fringe benefit in that regard.